Welcome to Tiger Sports Report, Getting to Know. We're going to start a series where we will interview current Memphis Tigers. We'll maybe revisit some older Memphis Tigers as well. But today, the first one, we're going to talk to offensive lineman Jonah Gambill. And Jonah, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So you guys are in the midst of fall camp. We joked a little bit off air. But just talk about, because this is you're going into your fourth year, and the question I had for you: does it get any easier for you?
No, not really. I wish it did, but it was definitely a hot year for camp and a lot of competition. So no, it doesn't get any easier. It just makes you, you gotta know when to step up and really fight and do the right things on the field and try to do the right things for your body and off the field as well during camp is a big thing. And, growing up, it has made it honestly probably a little easier on my body in the fact of, I'm hydrating more and, taking it more serious than I did, like my first year or whatever. But yeah, no, it doesn't get too much easier every year. You think it does. You convince yourself it is going into it. And then the first 3 days, first 3 days always remind you, especially for some reason, it's the hottest 3 days of the year. But first 3 days always remind you what fall camp's really about.
All right, let's take us back to high school. You're from the Cartersville, Georgia area, correct?
Yes, sir.
So give us, tell us about Cartersville and what it was like growing up there.
I love Cartersville. I'm still really close with a lot of the friends that I met, through school or just being in the same neighborhood as, growing up. We're all still real close. I loved it. My parents and my older brother, younger brother, we just, we'd grow up going outside playing all the time and, just doing whatever, doing everything together. And then, I started football about like 6 years old. I think I played for the Spartans was my first team. And I was an offensive lineman, but as you can guess, but so I played football every year except for I think I quit football in like 7th grade because I was like, whatever, I don't know, I was fat and lazy. And but then in 8th grade, got back into it, and then into high school. And I thought about quitting in high school. But then our head coach was like, you realize you're gonna start next year, like if you don't quit, right? Like I was like, wait, for real? Like he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, all right. Like so. Then after that point, I took it really seriously after that, and just really fell in love with it. And I love Cartersville. I loved the coaches that. Joey King for my first 3 years and Connor Foster for my last year. Love both of them to death. Coach Foster, he's still the head coach there right now. He was the DC before Coach King left. Coach King's now at Carrollton with like another number 1 quarterback or something. I don't know, but he's doing his thing, of course.
Yeah.
And but yeah, no, I loved it. I loved Cartersville. It was a good town to grow up in. A lot of friendly people, everybody knew everybody type of thing. So
now, was football the only sport you played, or did you play other sports?
No, I played growing up. I tried everything. I tried soccer when I was real young because like my mom played soccer. She's a huge soccer family. Like all my cousins. My cousin's actually the goalie for the 901 team.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, huge soccer family, but I didn't really enjoy it too much.
Was it too much running?
Yeah, I always played football, baseball, and basketball. And then, I played golf for a year or two and then did like cross country or whatever. Tried that. I tried everything. So, but yeah, then I just knew that in high school, the only thing, I didn't play basketball in high school. I really wish I would have, honestly. But baseball, I played like freshman year or whatever. And then after that, I just knew that football was what I wanted to take seriously.
Nice. Now, when you were in high school, what was because I didn't realize until I was researching. Trevor Lawrence is from your high school.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa, how did I miss that?" So,
yeah.
talk about some of the folks that you played with down there, and do you know where some of them are now? Are some of them in college football?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's because we had. I mean, Trevor Lawrence obviously he went number one. He was there for my freshman sophomore year. Um, and then Ronnie Brown also is from there. He went number two in the draft. Uh, so he's also from there. Uh, I mean, there's quite a few in college. Evan Slocum, I played with him. He's at Wake Forest starting right now. I think at safety. I'm trying to think. A lot of other guys had big offers, but like two of my boys in high school hurt their shoulders real bad, so they're actually coaching now, like helping coach for the high school. But I'm trying to think. I think Trey Creamer, he went to Iowa out of college. I think he's at Charlotte now. I mean, I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Klein. He's at UCF. He's an offensive lineman. We've got like a Georgia commit right now there, offensive lineman, and Luke Surratt. He's my center was Matthew Surratt, so his little brother's the center there now, and I think he's got some offers from like ECU and places like that. So,
What was the recruiting process for you when you were in high school? Who was like some of the early schools that came in on you?
so Coastal Carolina came to a practice. I thought they were scouting players. They were actually scouting my head coach because he ended up going there. But they saw me practice and they told Coach King, like, hey, we don't know who that guy is. Like, what's his name or whatever. He's like, oh, that's Jonah Gambill. And they're like, oh, well, like, we like the way he practices or something. And so they said, tell him tomorrow that we're going to offer him. And then I was like, oh. So then, because that was like before they could directly talk to me or whatever, something. So he called me in his office. He was like, hey, man, like, I just want to let you know Coastal Carolina came yesterday and they just wanted to like offer you a scholarship. And I was like, oh, dang. I was like, well, that's awesome. Like, so then I think the next day I got Jacksonville State and then it kind of, I don't know, it was like a few weeks or whatever. And then I started getting like more and more offers. Like they just, I don't know, I had like 20 something, I think. I don't know. And it was just like all of a sudden I was like, oh, wow. Like, okay. So,
Getting all this attention. What was Silverfield your primary recruiter?
yes.
So what was that? How did he come approach you and start talking to you? And what got you to Memphis?
Well, one thing about Coach Silverfield is he didn't offer me right away, which kind of like threw me off a little bit because it was like usually like when they hit you up like, hey, John, this is Coach blah blah blah. Like we want like we'll give you an offer or whatever. We talk a little bit and they'd be like, okay, well like the head coach wants to talk to you or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like he hit me up like normal. I was like, So then I just kept like regularly texting him, but he didn't offer me for like a few weeks. But we were still talking back and forth like a lot. So then he finally gave me the offer, and I was going to Louisville for a visit. And when I got up there, like they offered me, and then Coach Sherfield's like, come down to Memphis like tomorrow. So I was like, I don't know, like. I don't know about Memphis. I didn't really know much. And then I came down for a visit, and it was like the head coach. It was Coach Silverfield. It was just tons of people. It was almost like an official visit, like just for me, kind of. And I don't know. I really clicked with Coach Silverfield because he was just real. You know what I'm saying? He didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like trying to put on a front or whatever. He's recruiting you by being like a genuine person. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed the visit. I was like, wow. I was like, that's like in the top 4 for me probably now. So then went on official to like South Florida. And then 2 days later, that was a great official. I thought I was going to go there for sure. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to South Florida. Like, this is awesome. Tampa, like.
Yeah.
And then the official to Memphis was like even better. I was like, okay. Like, I don't know what's going on right now. Like, and then I don't know, it was just kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, I was just sitting at home after both the visits, And like, I was like, I don't know why I'm about to commit to Memphis, but I think I'm just going to commit to Memphis. So then I committed to Memphis, and everything else is history.
Now, when you committed to Memphis, I know a lot of times because Memphis has, history of finding talent, that once a kid commits to Memphis or even gets a Memphis offer, then a lot of schools jump in. When you committed to Memphis, did you start hearing from other schools or did they back off?
I mean, I definitely started hearing from some other schools, and then like one school that I was kind of close to going to, but I don't know. I didn't end up going there, but they definitely were still trying to. But I think like, yeah. I mean, there was a few schools that were like, hey, well, we know you're signing early. If we offered you, would you sign with us? Like type of deal.
Yeah.
Like I'd think about it. I'm like, nah. Like, and Memphis just having a spectacular season too. So I was like, that was 2019 year. So
Yeah.
I was like, nah. You know what? I was like, I committed. I'm not gonna like break that. So
Yeah. Now talk about that because that 2019 year was special. Coach Norvell leaves for Florida State. At any point, did you start to get worried?
um, yeah, definitely for a little bit. Because somebody was like, I think it was Coach Foster's like, yeah, Norvell's gonna leave, right? I was like, what? I was like, nah. He was like, yeah. He was like, season this good? He was like, oh yeah, he'll go to ACC somewhere big. And I was like, oh snap. So then I asked Coach Silverfield, and he was like, well, I can't really say anything, but like kind of just gave it. I was like, uh oh. But then I found out Coach Silverfield was probably going to become the head coach. So then I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm down for that for sure. So
Yeah, so it's pretty safe to say that it's because of Silverfield. Not only did you come to Memphis, but obviously you stayed because he's the head coach.
yes, sir.
Now, when he became the head coach, you didn't see him or you didn't play under him when he was an offensive lineman, but you were recruited by him. Have you seen any change now that he was, the head guy?
Oh, I mean, there definitely has to be a change,
Yeah.
between being the O line coach and being the head coach. It's a big difference for sure. But I mean, he's incredibly busy. He's
Hmm.
all the time at the facility. I mean, before anybody, after anybody. I mean, constantly working. He has to get on people a lot of the time, and that's a head coach's job is to
Yeah.
get on to somebody. And it's definitely me. Sometimes it's he takes his rounds for sure, and he'll tell you before the practice, "Hey, I'm on you today." I'm like, "Oh crap!" Like so then, but it's a good thing as well because it gets you. You have to be able to take coaching
Yeah.
and sometimes ignore what he's saying. Not when he's trying to coach you up, but when he's just trying to get in your head to see if you're gonna,
See how you react.
see how you react if you break or whatever. So I honestly do kind of like that because I really try to not let it like he'll say something, start screaming, I'm like, yes sir, like because palms up means like when you do palms up, like what? That means like F you. But if like palms down, I always make sure he'll be right in the middle of screaming. I'll just give him palms down. Like I'm like, what? Like what'd you say, coach? Because palms down is good, but palms up is not good.
Gotcha. Now, you're going into your retro junior senior year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you could go back and tell that true freshman that just came on to Memphis, what advice would you give yourself?
Um. Hmm. Dang. Um. I'd probably give myself the advice of showing up, every day to compete and to never let the fire in you, like the drive that just the
Hmm.
passion for what you do. If you love what you're doing, then it's really not a job. And I think for a little bit early on in college, I think I lost it for sure. Just dealing with a lot of things during COVID and stuff like that. But I definitely tell myself to, you know, get up, stop making excuses about your problems, deal with them like a man, and you know, ask God for help, ask your family for help, and ask your coaches for help. And
Definitely.
yes, sir. So that'd probably be it.
And what do you like to do when you're not playing football? What are some of your hobbies?
Golf. I love golf. Yeah, I love golfing. I just like hanging out with the boys, a little bonfire or whatever. Uh, I'm not a big gamer at all. Like I've never been a big gamer, but I don't know. The boys have kind of got me into Fortnite a little bit. So it's like during camp, there's really you'll come home, you can play for like 45 minutes, and then it's 10 o'clock, and you have to go to sleep because you have to wake up at 5:30. But
Do they take it easy on you when you first started, or they're like no holds barred?
oh no, no, definitely aren't taking it easy. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, I don't know what's happening. Like, but
Nice. Now you go. Out of all the coaches, that you have there at Memphis, is there one that you? I know because a lot of kids that they like to test coaches,
mm,
or being a little knucklehead. Is there any coach that you like to try to get underneath their skin, or try to play with?
hmm.
Or are you laid back? You just like, I don't want to get in trouble. Don't
Our
get.
Loki, our trainer, honestly, Bryce.
Mhm.
That's my dog. Yeah, I try to. The trainers, honestly, the trainers as a whole, I love the trainers. And I try to like mess with them and pick at them. Like I get real bad like body cramps or whatever,
Mhm.
like full body cramps or whatever, like first days of practices because it's just so hot. And I think I have like the highest, like I sweat the most salt out, like of my like when I sweat the most salt or whatever. So I'm losing electrolytes faster than like anybody else. So I end up like cramping like crazy after practice. And then I love just walking in, like when I'm not cramping, just be like, yeah, like just like start like acting like I'm cramping up, scream for help, and they'll just like freak out. Like, I'll do it real quick, and they're all just like on go because they know it's like actually how I am when I'm full body cramping, like just screaming. But
Now, you said you like to play golf. Who do you play golf with there on the team? Who's the best golfer?
Colby Cox right now. Last year, I liked playing with like Joe Doyle and Chris Howard and Colby. But it'll be like me, Jacob Likes, Colby Cox, Tim Armino. He's my roommate or was. We're actually about to get a new spot, but yeah, I mean we play golf all the time together. But yeah, Colby's probably the best on the team right now.
Now, when you look at the Memphis defensive line, when you go at them with in practice and in camp, who's the toughest to play against?
Probably the new guy Josh Ellison from Oklahoma. He's a baller for sure. And then William Whitlow, he's really good as well. I mean, our
Hmm.
deal, honestly, I think is very deep. The deepest it's been since I've been here for sure. And I'm excited to see them go to work, get some sacks. I mean, Jalen Allen's he's a dog. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Absolute dog. Fox, call him Fox from a guy from Stanford. I think he transferred in from Stanford. Yeah, he's a baller. Yeah, I think we're gonna be rushing pockets this year for sure.
nice. Now, is any of them big talkers? Do they try to get underneath your skin?
I mean, yeah, I think everybody ends up talking. You know, at beginning of camp when you're fresher, I feel like that's when the most talking goes on.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, no, dudes get tired and you get angry real quick.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I think everybody talks trash. Yeah, but there's definitely some big talkers. I won't name specific names, but
nice. Now, yeah, I just want to appreciate your time. This is your platform here to speak to the Tiger fans. What do you want the Tiger fans to know about you and what to expect this coming season?
well, I just want the Tiger fans to know that I love all of them. I love being a Tiger. I mean, I'm just very excited about the season. I'm gonna work my absolute butt off to, help us get the season that I feel like we deserve, and that I don't know. I feel really good about this year, and I just appreciate all the loyal support. I appreciate you guys helping me out and helping teammates out, and all around, we couldn't do this without without the Memphis fans, and I think they can expect me to just work my hardest this season, and move bodies on the O line, move bodies and put bodies on the ground. So
good deal. I have one last question that I forgot to ask, and I asked the Seth, Jalen, let's see, Simeon when they were at the AAC Media Day,
yeah.
and they kind of pleaded the fifth. So we'll see if you plead the fifth or you'll answer this. If you could change one thing about Coach Silverfield, what would you change?
I don't know. It's kind of a hard question to answer. I don't really know.
You can always plead the fifth.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to like pick something out of like, his character that's like this about him is not. I don't.
But not necessarily character. I mean, you could say, I'd rather practice early than late, or late than, just anything, anything.
Well, I mean, yeah. Afternoon practices and fall camp are. But I do understand it. I do, because it's. I mean, especially in September, early October. I mean, shoot. Sometimes in November it'll randomly get up to how it is here. Memphis is just ridiculous. So I mean, I don't know. I honestly do like when people come in and it's like an afternoon game, or it's just so hot, like an early night game or something, and it's just torching. And, we're used to it. And you can tell by the third, fourth quarter, the D-line and, some of those guys they're getting tired, like really tired. Start dropping out, so.
Good deal, man. Well, once again, I appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to watching you this season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Appreciate it.
See you, Brian.